and my partner, Brad Williams.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody.
Brad, nice to hear you full audioed using all the advances of modern 2015 technology.
I'm back.
By popular demand. Okay, everyone, so it's going to be a very exciting Q&A webinar today. Brad and I are going to be doing a typical rotation, as we like to call it. We're going to be talking about what's really going on, what we're doing, what kind of envelopes are we pushing, how to help you guys make more money. That's going to be the first half of it. And the second half, we're going to take questions and, again, dive into more of the strategy. So before we do this, I'm going to start with the standard disclaimer. Trade Ideas is not a registered investment advisor, and all the information that's in this Q&A webinar is really for educational and informational purposes only. So now that we got that out of the way, I have here a picture of the Standard & Poor's. It's the daily chart. And there's a reason why I'm bringing this up to everyone, because what I'm trying to show is kind of some big picture themes. First of all, for the people that are not with Trade Ideas or new to this, so Trade Ideas, we're in the business of helping people, individuals, outperform professional money managers. Now that sounds like maybe it's a tough job because, you know, if we were in the business, for example, of making amateur golfers compete with Tiger Woods, Brad, would that be difficult or hard?
Well, amateurs may be able to compete with Tiger right now. Sorry.
Oh, come on, Brad, you're not helping the flow. Yes, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, the point of that metaphor is that an amateur really can't compete with Tiger Woods because, my goodness, even the terrible Tiger would destroy any club pro and amateur in any competition 9 out of 10 times. But money management is a completely different animal altogether, and if you Google performance of money managers, what you find out is that almost all of money managers do not outperform the simple index of the S&P. Here's the S&P. And the reason, again, that I'm setting this up as a theme to our Q&A webinar about Trade Ideas is because we're in the game of trying to, well, how do you do better than this? Well, let's talk about, first of all, you know, if you look at this point, the 208.73, and this point at the 198, I mean, there's not that big of a difference between the two of them. But look at all this volatility. If you're just going from the left edge, Brad, to the right edge, you go down and up and then down and up and then down and up and down and up and down and up and then up. Down and up and down and up and down and up, and then, oh my God, here, by the way, here, this is this August sell-off, and let me tell you, man, almost every single hedge fund manager got destroyed here, and we know many, okay? I mean, these are the kind of ticks and wicks that close careers. I mean, Brad, I don't even know if I could say it better. Because of the bounce, too. It's like, it's this, because if you get here, and you're like, God, look at the idiots that sold here, and now you're here, and you're like, yes.
That's the point of pain.
The man or woman. And then you end up over here, and you're like, what kind of an idiot didn't get out up here? And then you get out. And then you're here. And by the way, everything I just said is completely true, because that is exactly what we say. There's like internet memes that go around about it. It's the whole decision-making cycle. But the point is, everyone, is that it's not easy to outperform the index. And the fact of the matter is, and why are there 70 people here after hours, is because you guys already know that you're giving professional money managers a ton of your money, and they're not really doing shit with it. You'd be just as good buying SPYs, is basically what we're saying. So what we set out at Trade Ideas to do is really to do the impossible. We are saying that we do have technology that allows you to have a Moneyball aspect to investing. And for those of you that don't know the term Moneyball, it's basically using statistical analysis. There's that really good movie with Jonah, the hell's the last name?
Hill?
Yeah, Jonah Hill, yeah.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill and Brad Pitt. And Jonah Hill was the guy that figured out how you can use math in scouting to really be able to outcompete the teams with more money. So at Trade Ideas, we're doing the same thing. We're using numbers that only we have access to beat the professionals at their own game. And don't get excited because the professionals really stink. That's the way. That's the reason. So it's not like Tiger Woods. I'm not saying that, hey guys, look, here's the training aid. Now you can get on tour. That's not the same thing here, because at Trade Ideas, we've been doing this since 2003, and we've created technology that watches the market and helps you figure out what is happening. And now we've moved even beyond that. So for everybody who isn't a subscriber, you can see here we have channels. So right now I'm on the artificial intelligence channel at Trade Ideas. I'm trying to make sure all my windows are pinned before I switch it. Okay. And so if I go to another channel like social media, okay, I'm instantly able to monitor stocks, just monitor for my own sake, interest stocks that are being either discussed a large amount on social media or an unusual amount on social media. We have both because we connect to not only stock market data but social data, unstructured data, where you can see some of the more interesting stuff that's going on and the baked-in sentiment. Okay, then of course you have options. You can go to the options channel. You have the up movements. So we are able to dissect the market for you without you doing any programming, any setting up. If you're interested in seeing what's winning on different time frames, whether it's today, the week, the month, the year, since 2000, since January, we have it all baked in, from after hours trading to different sectors to earnings. We have an earnings channel right here where you can just, with one click, you can see up with earnings today, down with earnings today, and you'll instantly know what's going on. So the idea is you're never going to miss anything, but we've been doing components of that over a decade, and as you do that, you realize that you create technology that really helps you leap forward. So why did we design this? Well, we designed this to help ourselves figure out, well, is this a good trade or not? And for the most part, everybody does it the same way. They do what I'm about to show you. They go, is this a good trade? And they quickly look, and they quickly look, and they make some quick decision, and then you move on. And you do this again at every single level. Whether you're in a chat room and somebody tells you something, and you're like, oh, is this a breakdown? I might short this. Or is this going to maybe rebound? I might buy this. I mean, that you do it visually, and you figure out, and you make a decision. That is how it's been done. That is how 99% of the people are still doing it. But we have a completely different approach. And this is, again, going back to the Moneyball approach. So what I'm going to do is I am going to quickly, what did I do with that window? Oh, dang it. I moved it. But at Trade Ideas, we allow our users to, let me do something real quick. Okay, so here I have a window that's watching anytime Apple computer, and I'm using something common so that, again, people who are not necessarily familiar with Trade Ideas can understand. So here I have a window that I'm watching anytime Apple computer pulls off of its low point. So this is the low from 25% pullbacks from different points, and this will be happening today, but it'll also go tomorrow, and again, this is going to our server, and it's looking at, well, when, here are the different times and when these moves happen. So when I look at this event, and this is what this is called, it's an event, and you can see like a little arrow here, and our software helps you see that. So the question that everybody has had, I mean, and still has, well, Dan, what do I do with this? So I see that Apple just came off of 25% off of the open, but do I buy this or do I sell this? This is the ultimate question of investors. What do I do? So we've designed a tool at Trade Ideas. It's a backtesting tool. It's called the Odds Maker. And again, I'm kind of giving you all an intro, but even for the ones that are subscribers, this should really be helpful because you can see how we came up with this whole concept of where we are today and how we're pushing it. So here I have a stock Apple, and I can go to our software, run the Odds Maker, and I can say, okay, I'm on the West Coast, by the way, so that those are the times that you see. So I'm going to go to 6:35. That's 5 minutes after the open, and I'll say I'll get up and I'll be ready to trade, and I'm not going to get into new trades for the last 2 hours. Okay. So if I'm in Apple, I'll manage it to the close, but this is my initiation time. Whoops. And again, you can just do this with your keys. Software is very configurable. So now you can set up, you can say, okay, well, I can put in some times in there. I can put in a profit target. So I can say, well, get me out if I'm up, let's say, 50 cents. Okay? Or hold it to the close. 10 minutes to the close. Either one of those things. And test it out and see what happens. So I can simulate buy, and I can see what exactly took place. So there were 9 trades. There were 66% of those trades were profitable, and 50-cent winners because I'm taking profits, and 88 cents losers. By the way, this actually helps to also teach you, like, you know, what kind of profit targets to set and why you're setting them and all sorts of things like that. Meaning that way you can say, well, maybe I'll set it to 5% instead. And you can see, would that have changed anything? Okay, quite a bit. So now, again, we've learned some things, we've looked at data, and we realized, well, heck, I can now maybe use this alert as a strategy to trade Apple. Maybe I will do that. So I'm painting very broad strokes, and us at Trade Ideas, we said, okay, well, let's figure out not only how to trade Apple per se, but how do we what's the best way to trade? What is the best strategy, not stock? Because let's face it, I mean, you can have a stock like the trade's much like the S&P, which was a little bit jagged, or you could have completely different trends altogether. Like, for example, this one, Weight Watchers. You know, you're talking about completely different situation, both on the downside where the stock was terrible, started to consolidate, and then on the upside after Oprah where it's been amazing. Completely different behavior situations. So we asked our computer to basically teach itself to become a good equities trader. And what you're seeing here, the artificial intelligence channel, is exactly that endeavor. It's our computer system, okay, taking the stock market and saying to itself, okay, my objective now is I am at the helm of an equities trading account, and I have one job. My job is to increase the size of this equity trading account using statistical analysis, using Moneyball techniques. I'm not going to hold anything overnight. How do I do it? So over the course of the last 2 years, we've really kind of been approaching it this way, and this is why I think it's so exciting to be where we are, because I really think we're just completely, you know, reshaping the landscape of how you interact with data. So we created a staging environment where it's kind of like an AI incubator, where every night the software goes into the database and it restudies every single trade that's happened. And we have these systems that are in there that compete internally to be the ones that are trading tomorrow. So every one of these systems, like Sell into Strength or Shake the Moneymaker or Power Hour Long or the Wedge, this is what was there today, but there's no guarantee that they're going to be there tomorrow, because it's kind of like professional sports, right? You want your best athlete to always be on the field with enough gas to play. So imagine if every single every single day, our AI competes with itself for the starting lineup. And this is kind of what you saw today. So for those of you, again, so I'm kind of overviewing everything. Trade Ideas is this engine. You explore the stock market with us. And this is the pinnacle of what we have created for over 13 years in the business. This is the Trade Ideas Artificial Intelligence channel. This will tell you what it thinks it's going up, how long to hold it for, what stop losses to use, and when to get out every single day. And no, it's not a green light buy and red light sell type thing. This is the money ball, and it's completely different. So today, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 systems. It's like basically you had 7 traders trading for you today, 7 professionals. One of them focused exclusively on the short side, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 focusing on the long side. And it was a very active day today. So these were all the trades and all the different strategies. I would say, Brad, it was probably the most active day, correct?
Well, definitely the most active day since we've updated the bases that the optimization engine is looking at.
Yeah. And here's another thing that, we've talked to a lot of people in the room. So one thing, again, for those of you who are new to Trade Ideas, we're you have the complete life cycle of being involved in the equities market with us. So we show you the technology that you must have to figure out the best things to be involved in the market. We have channels where you can obviously surf yourself. Everything is completely customizable. But as soon as you work with us, we train you through our educational department, where Jamie Hodge, who's our director of education, he sets up a one-on-one training session with you. But then I would say the best part of that is that we have a whole community right here. You can go to our trading room, which is headed by Barry Einerson, who is an incredible trader, an expert at Trade Ideas, and he's helping everyone and himself too, capture alpha at the same time. So he's not just working to work for Trade Ideas. Barry is there to make money for Barry. Barry does the best for himself, and Barry makes the most money for Barry. And it's kind of like the same thing with our AI. So we created this AI to help everybody in this life cycle. We know how challenging it is to figure out what it is you should be looking at. But we decided, well, the best way to do that is just to go for the odds. You can still trade discretionarily. And I'm going to show you these after we do our question and answer segment, and why I think these lists are the ones that are so important and they feed the AI. But at the very high level, Brad, we just had an upgrade to, what's our version? Let's see.
I think it's 0.31.
Right, so the very, so something else everyone here should know. So this version that you're looking at, version 4.0 and higher in Trade Ideas, is a new evolution of our software. It's a version that has charting, as a version that has full AI, and as a version that has all the access to our idea generation. This is the premier, the flagship. This should be, and possibly is competing to be, your one and only thing that you should need. In terms of your idea generation technology to trade the market. We've been coming out with versions very quickly, and the AI is kind of like something that, well, we put out in very rough form, and it's evolved to where it is right now, but there's probably going to be a build tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, Brad. It's going to be an upgrade, but we just added a lot of things to make this a lot smoother. So Brad, do you want to go over the additions, or you want me to kind of go? Because I feel like, what is it?
Yeah, sure. I can talk a little bit about the additions that we put in here for the latest version. We've added a second set of filters. So you can see in the upper right-hand corner, we've added this filter section that allows you to filter on active and inactive strategies, as well as long and short, but at the same time select a particular strategy or a group of strategies over on the right side drop down. There's still a couple issues with this version.
By strategy, and this is by type.
So another enhancement that we've added to this version is if you click on that totals right there, you can toggle between looking at your dollar profit and looking at the basis points profit. So basis points is...
Yeah, I was going to say, Brad, one of the big things that we've done here is that we have had hedge funds talk to us about this. And since hedge funds really think in basis point terms, this is the basis point element of it. And I think there's still a couple of things that the math needs to be a little bit adjusted, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah, there's a little bit of a bug in the sum calculation there. And the chart, there's a little bit of a bug on the basis points chart, but that should be fixed in the next version. Also, we've added some additional columns. And the columns are, you can see those columns if you were to select the AI channel in the channel bar. So we've added those to the strategy trades window.
So let's talk about some of those because
the distance to the stop, it's not very interesting right now because it's not populated with data. But that's a nice one because it's really giving you an indication of how close this trade is to moving towards its stop or away from its stop. So that's a new column. We've also added the basis points profitability into each one of these windows here, so you can look at that in addition to the dollar profit that's associated with each trade or strategy.
Yeah, Brad, for me, so the thing that I thought that was very important today, and this is for a lot of people who are on the AI already, which, you know, most of the people who have trade ideas, just so you guys know, are now getting it with the AI because, again, once you see it, it's really hard to go back. And to me, so there was a very interesting thing where you and I, Brad, were focusing today on the smart stop and how much you're up or down. So, like, we have these smart stops, and these smart stops, notice how they're different for every single stock. And the reason is because they're smart, because they take in every single stock's own volatility signature and range into it. And we've been working on, you know, again, making sure that we're giving everything the proper amount of breathing room so that you can really take full advantage of what's available in the move. And so, Brad, let's kind of talk a little bit about some. So first of all, I'm going to expand, and you guys can see there were a lot of trades on the AI today. Okay, and I'm going to expand it, and you can see all of them. So these were all the AI trades. But the important thing is, look at, you know, the stuff that really, again, differentiates us is the fact that smart stops, you know, they keep you from making the critical mistake that's going to wipe you out and make you not be in the game. You know, look at how the AI by itself is managing trades that actually are not working. So you have all these things. You have exact stop, smart stops. You have the smart stop price, Brad. Isn't that a column that we just added?
It is. I don't think I included it in the default there, but I mean, if you actually open it up and look at the configure area, there's so many different columns. You can go crazy.
Right.
With
So here I'm going to add stop price. So now you can see exactly what the stop price would be for everything. So there's just a lot of data there that helps you kind of go back and forth and see, like, how long do you have in the trade. You know, there's as the day progresses, you can see, are your gains all in the new stuff, in the old stuff. It's really an amazing way to interact with the markets. So these
I think you should talk a little bit. We should talk a little bit about the today's performance column because that's such a great indicator. I mean, it looks like some fancy Star Trek light thing, but if you actually dig right into it, it tells you a whole story as to what's happening, with that particular trade.
Brad, I'm expanding this so that excuse me, so that it gets more into the matrix type mode. Tell me what you see.
So like on that very first stock, PBYI, that graphically what that's telling me is you got into that position and instantly you're up. You're up a little bit, and that's that far left margin of that sell. So it's a darker green right there. And as that trade progressed, it got to that lighter green, and that's the color that we're trying to achieve in all of these different windows. Similarly, if you go down to TGTX, which is mostly red until it gets to green, so it's down there, right there. You just passed it, but it just tells you a whole story. Yeah, right there, and you can see that this trade instantly started off negative, moved against you, and then became a very, very positive trade.
Well, Brad, the other thing that I wanted to really have, excuse me. Sorry about that. I'm catching a cough and I'm trying not to, mumble. But I was trying to say is that the AI has reasons, like mathematical reasons, for why it's getting into trades. And not all of those reasons succeed, but look at TGTX, target, right? If you've been around and you've been watching what we're doing, to capture alpha, we're trying to really nail those big trend change type of moments. This is an example of one. This is an example of one. And again, they don't always work out, but look at this. The strong base, and then this is starting. The idea is that if we were able to get to this level at target, this could have been a huge, and that's why you need to be watching this, because it's building this base and it could go. The other big thing that almost everybody who has the AI is doing, and something that we're going to be adding, which is right now you can manually go and create a symbol list. And you can put all of the stocks that have been trading on the AI in the symbol list. And there's incredible opportunities for those in the days that are following the times that you were in actually in the AI. There's a PRAA. I believe that was the one. Yes. So look at the move in this stock over the last 2 days. Now this one stock was on the AI, I believe, yesterday or the day before. And people who are involved with that are now able to see that, keep it on their radar, and capture alpha in it and continue to do more. I mean, this is
Dan, I've also been listening to people taking this and using some of these opportunities as swing, right? I mean, you look at something like that on the daily, and you're up pretty good in it at the end of the day, and you look at that daily chart. That's something that you may want to keep part of your position and stay in, and it could be the start of a nice base that you're building.
Well, this is Brad, I mean, what you're talking about is exactly the reason why we think everybody who's in the stock market should have this technology, because we're not only, I mean, first of all, you guys have to appreciate how difficult trading is, and we are saying that we're going to be able to make you money on an intraday basis, but my goodness, if you can do that intraday, does that not set you up well for the longer term? People often ask us, like people say, hey, why don't you make a strategy that's for swing trading? And we say, well, you know what? There's no magic strategy that automatically becomes swing trading. Do you know how you know? Here's how you know. This magic right here. It's the P&L, right? So if you were in PBYI and you're in it somewhere in this area, whoops, I'm in the wrong stock. My bad. I mean, well, first of all, again, you have to decide if one day like this is enough, and if you're in it at 66.53, my goodness, you have no reason to get out. That's what swing trading is all about. It's finding this one, absolutely not. This one, very possible if I'm in it, I mean, because that could be you're talking about a possible, the resistance is at 57 and you're 10 points away. That's how you get exposed to the kind of move. I mean, look at this one again. We're trying to find the stuff that's really interesting. If you can position yourself in some of these that have the potential to change the trend, my goodness, I mean, you are going to eat ROI for lunch. Brad, let's take a small break. Let Scott come in and introduce everybody to some of the pricing schedules. Then you and I will come back and dive more into all of this stuff and really, I mean, really showcase what we've got going on.
Let's do it. Go get some water.
Sounds good. I think you can park it on slide 3. Yeah, perfect. So, we're a software as a service company, and our primary subscription model is monthly. We also have an annual plan that saves you quite a bit over the monthly. So the plans start at $99 a month, and the annual plan is $888. And at the AI channel and the odds maker technology is a one-time license of $1,100. What the plans get you on the $99 a month or the $888, yeah, all of your data and exchange fees are included unless you're a professional trader. If you're a professional trader, you'd know it because you'd have a Series 7 license and be trading other people's money. So the majority of you are not. The TI Pro charting is included in that. So is the free hour of one-on-one training, our hour of power training. And you can try out the backtesting tool, the odds maker, with either the annual or the monthly. Now, in order to get access, unlimited access to the backtesting tool and also immediate access to the artificial intelligence tools that you've been seeing, you need to get the what we used to call the odds maker license, but now is our AI channel and odds maker access, and that's $1,100, and that's a one-time thing. You always have it once you get it, and that lets you find trades that they're performing in the market right now, as Dan's been showing you. You can also use the odds maker to backtest the entire market with your strategies and then refine your own strategies. And there's no programming required. And unlike tools like TradeStation, you can backtest the entire market, not just a handful of stocks or one stock. And there's no programming unless you really want to get into the weeds of creating your own custom filters, which if you decide to do, you can do inside Trade Ideas. Our program is like Excel in that way. You can go as deep as you want into customizing it for yourself, or do it like we've been aiming towards. Use our AI channel for immediate trade ideas that really work right now. I'm going to come back on in a little while after Dan and Brad answer all of your questions and show you how that you can, because you've attended this webinar, save some money if you're not currently a subscriber and try us out. Or if you are a subscriber, upgrade to the AI channel or the annual plan. Brad, Dan?
Scott, thank you as always. Okay. Add my glass of water. I think it helped, hopefully, a little bit. Brad, should we answer some questions?
You got it. Terry Dan is asking about those windows you have over on the right. That trend change lubricant factor, the small cap positive money lubricant factor, and your float on windows, those top list windows. Can you talk a little bit about those? And as far as getting those, just send an email to info@trade-ideas and we'll hook you up. There are a couple custom filters, so it's a little bit of a process, but just shoot us an email. So Dan, tell us a little bit about those because they're pretty cool windows.
These three windows were kind of created by myself, and I think Brad helped me. Part of it is we were really trying to find inflection points where the stock that we're seeing is a type of situation where, if we're fortunate enough to get in it at the right time, there could be a significant trend happening. So we devised these windows, and the idea is like the names are meant to catch your attention. So trend change lubricant. If you look at what's happening here, what we want to see is there's a type of a trend. So here's one type of a trend. It's a downward trend on PTCB. But the lubricant part is where there's a significant move to the upside. And so why is this in a window and not in the AI at least right now? Well, first of all, it could have been all sorts of different things all along here. But really, and Barry can tell you, the real move is right around here on this one systematically. So you could actually be shorting this kind of stock right here and buying it back very quickly right there if it breaks out, and if not, I mean, you're looking for a possible pullback all the way to lows. So the trend change lubricant is looking for that trend change. And we set that up, again, there's a couple of different ways that you can do that, but without getting too into the weeds, what I think what is really good for Brad to say is that for everyone who attends these webinars, and we do this again, for every webinar that people participate in, we let you have these. We'll send you cloud links. All you will have to do is send an email to info@trade-ideas.com. And as Scott is saying, we will take care of all of that for you. We're glad to share this information, and this is the information that's meant to be used by you to capture alpha. Again, you can kind of see it. It's all very similar, and that's what it's supposed to be with algorithms, guys. You should be seeing stuff where, you know, where the pattern actually is a very serious visual pattern. Now, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but here's an example. ZFGN was a stock that I believe we called out, like, it's got to be either 12 or 13 price area. I don't even remember, but I know that it was our trade of the week, but also it was on one of our other trades before then. I think it was an AI trade that then turned into a trade of the week. But again, the idea is that here you should see it's a measured move and understandable risk, right? You know, when you're buying ZFGN at 47, and somebody was, you know, it's a little bit harder to quantify risk. You have to do a lot of thinking about it if it starts to do a move like this, which is just horrific in the span of 2 months. And that's the thing that everybody here should see, right? In the stock market, look at what can happen in the course of 2 months. This is why buy and hold is such a disaster, okay? I mean, you have to know when a trend changes, and they change very, very quickly. So this is what the trend change lubricant looks like. Small cap is a similar concept, but I think just smaller names. And here, mags, I mean, here's one where, let me see if I can zoom out. I mean, definitely exactly the kind of move that we're looking for. But again, you don't catch all of them, you miss them. And this was the big one today, I believe. Oops. Yeah. That a lot of people were in, and that's one to watch. The most important thing is the fact that when you come in the morning, and if you have access to our AI, you've got the kind of assistance that has never existed before anywhere on the planet. You have this software that is basically literally pretending to be a human and trading for you. And you can then decide, do you do it, do you not do it? I mean, it's a totally different way of managing risk, but we think it is the most eloquent way to manage the risk. I mean, Brad, whenever I look at the situation and I see, you know, wow, by the way, look at this thing. Is this correct? Did KBIO go to $13 in after-hours trading?
It sure looks that way, yeah.
Wow. Like I said, welcome to the market. I mean, look at this stock, guys. I mean, this is after hours.
And it traded all the way up. It's
trading right here from 2 to 13.72. I'm not in it. I'm sure Barry is in it already. But this is what we're here for, you know? I mean...
So Dan's got a good question here from Algo Trader, asking if we can elaborate on the variables that the AI searches for in order to produce entries for for the strategy. And I think that the way that I would answer that question is really it's all about the derived data. It's all about the special data points that Trade Ideas creates in the process of looking at every single tick of every stock and creating the statistical baselines. So the filters like relative volume, the position in all the different time ranges, and all the different filters that are only available in Trade Ideas, those are the data points that the AI is looking at. Really, essentially any filter that can be configurable in our software.
Well, I was going to say, but it's not only that; it's also a combination of any alert and filter.
Yeah, and the trigger. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So your trigger. So here's the basic idea. So your trigger, the way you enter a trade, is through a trigger event. Like we say, well, something has to be happening, and you enter the trade. That something is described by an alert event. My God, KBIO. You guys saw it here first. These are all the different triggers, and you can very quickly see it. But the thing is, you don't need to choose these. I mean, we do that for you. But there's just an immense amount of the way. I shouldn't repeat the word. I feel like I repeat the word immense too much. There are many choices of how you can slice and dice the data. Different ways that it can move up. Different proximity of prints. Different types of volume bars. So all of this stuff are all possible inputs. Then you get into the filters. And in the filters, my gosh, there's the same thing. I mean, every one of these, like you can create a system that's only trading when the NASDAQ is doing something over the last 5 minutes. And that's its key interval. So it's almost an infinite amount of ways that you can customize it. And that's why, again, there's nothing else that you need to do to customize more. The AI has so many more options to choose from than is even possible to comprehend. I mean, that's why it takes the software guys from, I mean, Brad, it finishes doing all of its homework for next day trading with about 2 hours to spare before the open.
Yeah, I mean, it's working all night.
Yeah, it's literally working all night to create the new strategies for tomorrow. I mean, this is how advanced it is, guys. I mean, this is where we're at. Okay, to get this kind. So, the 4 points is, by the way. I mean, I just want to make sure everybody knows. So, if you take all of the trades of every single stock, added them all up together, if you were trading one share, that's how many points you would have. KBIO, my gosh, what is going on? Did it buy Google? We link our software symbols link with almost everything. So you can see, first of all, we already have charting, so you don't need to buy extra charting platforms. We have everything you need. And we do also link with third-party charts. And Trade Ideas, again, we've been around. We've been around since 2003, so almost every broker is familiar with us. And Scottrade and E-Trade have licenses to Trade Ideas that gives you the software at a discount. So let's see. The question is, how useful is the sub without AI? That's a great question, Ted. Well, we've been in business since 2003. We've been making over $1 million a year since 2005 in gross revenues, significantly more since 2008. And we've only had the AI out since, I mean, how long has the AI been out, Brad? A couple of months?
Well, it's really not officially out yet. It's maybe a month.
Right, and the AI has only been out a month. So yeah, it's very useful for people. People use it. A KBIO must have cured cancer. Somebody's going to have to tell me what they did, because I keep watching this chart and being excited because I'm conditioned like that, like Pavlov's dog. I can't help it.
That's only up 625% post-market, 591% since yesterday's close. Jeez.
My God. Well, anyways, so as we wrap it up, what we're saying is that this technology, the AI technology, is what we are here to tell you is what we are the most excited about. Can you use Trade Ideas without it? Absolutely. you can set it up, and in fact, that's how traders have used us for the majority of the time that we've been around. You can create custom anything you want, but we've done almost everything for you via the channel, so you don't really need to configure anything. Jamie will teach you how to use everything, set you up with a training session, and then you'll be ready to go, and then our trading room will help you then during the day. But the real power is where, imagine if you went to college and after you left, your Harvard professors went to work with you to help you out at your job. This is what this is. I don't know a better way to describe it. This is what I'm the most excited about, and we have an incredible opportunity for everybody to take advantage of it. So, Brad, did we cover all the questions?
Yeah, I think so. I'm kind
of
looking here.
Guys,
I think so.
So exciting.
We do link with NinjaTrader, yes.
Yes, we link with NinjaTrader. The biggest takeaway from today is who else has software that's out there that's showing you how it's doing. The software, not a trader, the software. Nobody. So let's take it to the next level. We're going to be making some incredible innovation here. Everybody who joins us will be able to participate. And again, we've never been more excited. So let's see. Tim didn't answer my question. What is Tim's question?
Let's see it, Tim.
So Ted, a list like KBIO is this list. The trend change lubricant, you would have seen it. KBIO has been on tons of TI lists, and you see it right now because it's on our after-hours watchers. Okay, thank you, Lauren.
It's also like if you were watching the After Hours channel, that's something that would have come up, pretty quickly in the as soon as the market closed. It's all the way at the bottom.
Channel.
Yeah, and the After Hours channel is available to every subscriber, not just those with the odds maker and AI. Just to reiterate that.
So here's all the stuff that's happening that's interesting in After Hours. So how do you make charts work after hours? Right click and show pre-market, show post-market.
And maybe one of the things, Dan, that didn't really get conveyed as well is the fact that, we've done everything for you in these channels, but the fact is that if you want, you can roll your sleeves up, you can configure any window you want with any setting you want. So, I mean, it's a very malleable piece of software. But right here, we're just showing you how you can get started running, right out of the gate.
Right. Well, I mean, for us, it's all about giving you value right away. That's what we want to do. I mean, we want to give you value right away, and we want to show you where you can find it. And aside from the fact that you don't have to have the AI, there's no reason to have anything. But how else, when you're competing? I mean, Brad, this is what I'm saying. When you're competing with Moneyball, how else are you going to do it?
It's great to have them both, too,
Yeah. And so, by the way, I mean, just so everyone knows, we have another webinar today called the webinar for our
Trade of the Week.
Right, and obviously it's for a different group, but I am going to be talking about a lot of the Trade of the Week kind of stuff, which, I mean, there's probably going to be the same screen, and I'm going to be discussing more of what you see here. Again, it's an incredible and amazing time to be in the equities market, and I think with us, you get the best tools for it. So, Scott, take it away. Show the people how grateful we are.
Well, yeah, I mean, we like to thank you all for showing up, and something I want to point out is you have a handouts panel in your GoToWebinar interface. If you click on your handouts, you'll be able to download a PDF that contains this information. I think on your PDF, though, it says this offer expires November 13th. I had that Friday wrong, but it's correct on your screen now. So use this code. You see it on your screen, QAWEB. That's all capitals and the number 18. So QAWEB18 will take 50% off of your first month, 24% off your first year, 30% off lifetime odds maker. So, for example, you could try us for just $49 the first month. There's no contract. You can try out Trade Ideas. If you want access to the AI, you can get that for just $7.70 if you don't have it yet. You can switch from monthly to yearly and save a bunch on the first year that you're with us yearly at just $6.75 for the first year. If you want to go to the next slide, though, this is what we're really excited about, because we want to get all of our subscribers into using the AI and the odds maker. If you're currently a subscriber and you want to get a full year and the odds maker for only $12.88, just do this now and then email us and let us know you did so we can correct your monthly subscription. A lot of you probably understand the value of Trade Ideas, and this is a great way to get started too. It's just $12.88. You save $700 right away. Just go to bit.ly/SAVE700 or click through to that link from your PDF that you just downloaded and sign up. Then go to your first webinar that you're invited to. Also, immediately upon signing up for any of our services, go to our support section of the website and sign up for the training. That way you can get in queue to get your one-on-one hour power training session. It's a fantastic way to get started. Any questions at all, just email info@trade-ideas.com. That goes directly to our support desk. Follow Dan at Trade Ideas 1 or the firm at Trade Ideas. Like us on Facebook, and if we do post some things to Facebook, we don't post elsewhere, so that can be an interesting thing to look at. You can email Dan directly at dan@tradeIdeas.com. We have a phone number. We usually have someone answering the phone too, or we will return your call as quickly as we can get to the voicemail. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks Dan. Thanks Brad. Good presentation. See you guys tonight.
Bye everybody.